I did try to make this video on my Instagram and it suddenly cuts off. I guess Instagram is owned by Facebook and they do control the content to some extent, or they try. It does strange stuff. When the topic gets a bit too interesting, then strange things happen. I'm doing this video for my professor, Professor June McLaughlin, attorney that's teaching us the class Social Media and the Law. And I found this book on eBay. It was a very nice book, quite cheap. And the book is called The Social Media and the Law, written, or not written, but edited by Daxton R. Stewart. And it's a collection of articles about different aspects of social media and the law. And we kind of followed the same topics or articles in the class. And one class that was particularly interesting, and we did a kind of exercise between ourselves to try to moderate content. Well, forget about blocking. Now we're talking about moderating it. Facebook did something like that, try to moderate its content. Moderating does not work. One of the most famous cases of a company or a government or agency trying to block content was the case with WikiLeaks and its founder Julian Assange. Well, WikiLeaks had access to all these hackers. They broke into a US server and they stole a military video or a video that was shot by a US military helicopter as it was assassinating many ground guards. It just was a very uneven confrontation, and he just butchered them from the air. This video got out and made a huge splash. And the US government tried to prosecute Assange for turning their state secret to them. Basically, US government tries to maintain this image of good guys. We can go around the world and do all this stuff, but it has dirty laundry. But comparing this this situation with what's happening right now is everything is much worse right now, and there isn't any boundaries. Well, this book has many articles. The second article, written by Jennifer Jacobs Henderson, talks about the boundaries of free speech in social media. And gradually this author comes to the same conclusion that we came in the class. And I was talking with you, Professor Attorney McLaughlin, that really you cannot regulate or restrict content, and social media platforms are simply utilities that anybody will put their stuff on it. And if you block or moderate or limit in any shape and form any content, then they'll just simply hop into another platform. And well, these days, I'm watching content that are a million times worse than what the WikiLeaks did. For example, I did send you, Professor, three videos. That these three videos they were showing that the U.S. Soldiers, many of them, 5,000 to 10,000 on each ship, that they had hired cruise ships, and they were getting on the cruise ships. They were on the open sea. They were shipping out to Israel or Ukraine, and Russians have very good CIA equivalent KGB. They knew that these cruise ships were not vacationers, but they were U.S. soldiers, and the videos show their helicopters, military helicopters, attacking these ships and setting them on fire. And you could see some of them on the video cover that the ship was sinking, taking down 5 to 10,000 U.S. soldiers. And I didn't have just one of such videos that I found on YouTube, and I found even far worse on YouTube before, but three of them. So if I had done such a thing that I linked these videos at the time of Julian Assange, about 10, 20 years ago, they would have killed me. They would have found me, and But today, this has happened and is happening regularly. That they cannot stop it, and with some platforms like TikTok, I know that the government agencies, they hire people to sabotage TikTok. For example, they arrested their chairman in Canada and prosecuted her. Then TikTok, I put content and I gained a lot of followers. TikTok itself is very scared of the U.S. Agencies and government. I got my stuff on TikTok with a great deal of difficulty. I mean, I would put the stuff in, and TikTok would block it. I had to put the stuff on there like 3, 4 times, 5 times, even 10 times before I could get in. And this blocking and sabotaging videos is also very common on Facebook. Facebook will simply remove some of my videos. And with Instagram, and they're owned by Facebook. For example, Instagram, I had a video called about U.S. military hiding losses, and I talk about the same concept that hey, many U.S. troops are getting killed already before they even make it to Ukraine or Israel. I was mentioning examples. Guess what happened to this video? I went back to it, it had gotten a lot of hit. Somebody had come in and made the entire video into a picture. Like they took the video out, and they I don't know what they did to Then Facebook or Instagram, what they did is, like about 20 or 30 of my videos, they cut the video and just showed the first 30 seconds of and then they stopped doing that. They stopped butchering entire genre of videos, anything they didn't like, and then they stopped for a while, and now after a while they're letting my videos go through. But these companies, they are engaging in censorship, and I think it's with the cooperation and help of the U.S. government. But I myself, I go, for example, on Telegram, and on Telegram you can find the most bizarre, most odious videos you can imagine. I mean, I didn't actually go because I wouldn't want to watch such content. But for example, the people from Hamas who had attacked Israeli generals, and they have made videos of blowing their brains out, made videos of this is just I mean, I'm just saying as an example, and it's all on Telegram. You can go and look at them. I would say Telegram is like 10 times worse than TikTok. But then I think that there is absolutely no blocking anything. If a creator made videos that were rejected or removed by YouTube, he will simply go up on another platform. And there seems to be no end to these platforms. We haven't even start talking about the dark web. These are servers and platforms that are outside of the United States, and maybe the government knows how to block them. Well, the creation of contents is something that's out of the hands of anybody that's in use. I think that the only content moderation or blocking is happening with people themselves. For example, I personally despise or detest anything that would be pedophilia. I would never watch. As soon as I recognize the type, I will go elsewhere. This is a self-censorship that I don't want this content. I will not do. I'm sure many people are like me. They will personally not pursue. And also another form of blocking or censorship is when culturally entire group of people, for example Americans, will refuse to watch such videos even if they are on YouTube. I mean, this is a form of unconscious or cultural moderation or blocking of content. But that doesn't mean that this content is gonna be blocked. You can find it somewhere. And there was a scientist who wrote a paper, and he was from the Department of Defense, and he was saying that once stuff gets on the internet, forget it. You cannot block it, you cannot erase it, you cannot do anything with it. And well, a lot of the content on Facebook, on Instagram, it can be used by different agencies. I'm very sure, for example, CIA and FBI and government agencies, they tap into the internet or communication. They have a system. I think they call it's like a master system. It's called Euclid or some fancy Greek name. I think some mathematician wrote this system. And it's really an old form of AI that goes out and researches everything. For example, uh, they can do eavesdropping on a massive scale, not just one or two or millions or just in the United States. You can do it worldwide. There is also in many of Microsoft systems or software, there is backdoors that the U.S. government can get into the back door and get onto a personal computer or server and look at everything, look at files. And we are not even talking about all the hackers that are active in the United States and North Korea, in Russia, in Iran. It just what I'm trying to say is what you put on the internet or on social media is like the open book, and anybody can read this open book. Well, now there was a discussion in class that basically I made the comment that when you put content on the internet and you're sitting there, you think, who might think like this? Who might hate me? Who might like me? Who might... or you pollute your presentation. You pollute what you want to say. And most audiences, most people, they pick that up right away. And they say, this stuff is crap because it's not a strong point of view backed by scholarly research or even someone's conviction. I'm just gonna go elsewhere because everything is out there. I was acting in this movie, and in the movie it was like a drama movie, and I was thinking about something. I was thinking how would I present myself for this situation or this feeling that this character might have. I thought some side ideas or side feelings, and I said, nobody will pick that up. The audience will not pick that up, but I'll just put it there. And when the directors and everybody was watching that episode or that scene, so oh my God, everybody was making comment about that hey, this actor was thinking or doing this. I asked them, hey, I didn't say anything, but when the camera picks it up, the camera picks up every nuance, everything that you're feeling, even though you mask it and you're thinking the feelings of somebody might get hurt, or you kind of hide it. There is no hiding. There is no what you feel and you're saying it, even though you don't verbalize it. The audience, or millions of people out there, they will pick up all these bits and pieces from the way you look, the way you said the word. We communicate in like 50 million ways. There is no sugarcoating. There is no... same as this author is saying, or the author, she might be just beginning and kind of looking at this situation and say, maybe there isn't very much boundaries, what the boundaries of the social media, or is there like well, this situation is very apparent when, like, say for example, I'm chatting on Telegram. I chat with Jennifer Aniston, and she always has this schnauzer kind of dog, and then also she's like Every time I ask her, you know, I want to know if it's you. I don't want an impersonator. She has a way of like just sending a snap picture or sending the picture of her with the dog or, you know, the way she is, the way her hands look. And, but they are in contrast with her face. Her face is very smooth. Like all these bits of information, all these things that comes through, even though she's sitting across another screen, maybe far away. I picked that up, and she also picks it up. I mean, I can't hide anything for shit. But you know, she has like
That's not what we do at Alabama when we
she has a lot of impersonators. They use her picture, but the way sometimes she talks and the way she sends stuff over, yeah, I know this is her. This is not somebody else. I mean, I'm saying with the social media, it is this same situation. Well, why would we want to stop that? Why would we want to put boundaries? Uh, First of all, if somebody puts there like pedophilia or very violent sex, like somebody is a serial killer and killed this woman and put the picture on the internet, on the social media, or they just make themselves totally vulnerable because you got all these agencies and all these people, they have access now to exactly what happened, all these clues. Just like when I look at Jennifer Aniston's hands, I know it's her, it's not somebody else. Well, some detective, some FBI agent can look at these videos of crime or kids getting killed or molested. It's like you have all this evidence and all this stuff that's going to go right in front of the judge at some point. And then another thing is that when these people get on the internet and they do all this really fancy stuff, and then they want to get off the internet on the off ramp, which they have to deal with the real world and real persons. Well, that's when they get busted, and there is all this evidence too. Well, just that, but what the for example, the U.S. government want to do is to go around and commit all these crimes against different populations, run over 7-8 Muslim countries, and blow up their head of state, like blow up Sayyid Hassan and kill Iranian president. And then they want to come in and have a presentation in Pentagon. So we are such nice guys, and we are saving the world. We are we are a hub for democracy. And then you see all these videos in Instagram and Telegram shows the U.S. trucks taking weapons to Wahhabi bases, and it destroys illusions. It destroys these social media. You can't lie anymore. You can't present a narrative, and then there isn't 20 other people saying this is bullshit. Well, I watched some redacted. You should see some of the stuff they redacted. They sit there and compare what the mainstream media is saying, and then compare it to other videos, actually what's happening. So this is stuff U.S. government is doing or our military is doing is crap. Well, well, what's so bad about this? Why should we limit this stuff? Everybody is winning, even though the stuff that's coming out it is very bitter sometimes to swallow. But well, the conclusion that me and Professor McLaughlin reached at the at the at our class when the discussion was going on between other students, hey, let's moderate this and that, is that you cannot moderate. Whether you want to or not, everything is going to get on it. If it doesn't get on it here, it will get somewhere else. One thing that foreign governments that are still a sovereign state, one, for example, Russia and Iran are doing, is disconnecting some networks, not all networks, from internet. It becomes they're like their own little network. Some parts of internet in Russia are not connected to the international internet. The internet that's for Iran, for its military, is buried 500 feet underground in like 500 bases. They don't communicate with the outside internet. They're blocked. Things that are secret, they sit on one server without any kind of connection. Even the computers and the chips that are inside them, they are designed to be different than Microsoft. Iranian government had designed pagers, cell phones. They are not very good looking or jazzy like our iPhone, but they are completely secure. They're separated from any other network. I think some drug dealers, drug cartels in Mexico, they have their own network. They have their own radio, two-way radios. It's all separated from anything. Well, Iranian scientists, they have built devices that use quantum entanglement. So even the wave that goes out to the other walkie-talkie or stuff, even that wave is completely unfamiliar, encrypted, separate from any other wave. Well, with what happened with Israelis getting hold of pagers and selling them to Hezbollah after they had put in explosives in there and exploded them, this is another lesson. I think that in the future, any pager, any cell phone, any device is completely encrypted away from anything that the United States can get into it. Well, something similar to that has happened with money. Bitcoin it does just about everything to stop open networks to access the code for or to modify a public ledger. It has made it next to impossible to modify Bitcoin protocol, its history, its transactions. It will show you what it wants to know. Once you make an account with Bitcoin, it's like you have made a bank account with the North Korean bank. Only they know you and you know them, and you can access that money. It's only in that form. And if you are friends with Mr. Kim, you get a really good interest rate. And so we are really, what we have is these open systems, and we are all very vulnerable. and then we have some very strictly controlled intranets, nets that are completely segregated and chopped off from internet, and only very good users, legitimate users, can access the net and come back out of it, and their use is also restricted. I saw a video by a company, it's called MegaNet, which means like when you want to get internet, you connect to this one server, okay, is the MegaNet server, and you anything you say or hear back from this server is like still in the open. But once your communication goes inside MegaNet, nobody else on the other side of the MegaNet, any other users, they can know your IP, they can know who you are. This is some form of like ultimate anonymity, and there is all this other software out there to anonymize everything. But while we are all still vulnerable, this system is great for doing research. I mean, I could like tap into 50 different databases to find out anything about someone, if they pay their bills good, what kind of criminal records they have, if they ever beat their wife or girlfriend. Like, well, before I finish this section, I think that it is so unconstitutional, so criminal for courts to put the public to make the criminal records or court information available to public, so any jerk can know so much about somebody else. It's like you totally took away any constitutional guarantees that protect the person's identity, self-respect, or other things that U.S. agencies do, like USCIS, is to tap in these records and then again to prosecute a second time somebody who got a conviction in court, which is completely against U.S. Constitution, prohibition against double jeopardy. Okay, Constitution explicitly says that you may not re-prosecute somebody after they finish their sentence again for the same charges under a different program, under immigration. And this is not just double jeopardy, this is like multiple jeopardies, because then retarded agency people, then they make again these records available to other assholes. It's like a devil's Bible, and anybody is gonna. Now, I had tons of problems with social support agencies, housing, student aid, DMV, all these assholes, they tapping into these records, and some clerk, retarded clerk, sitting in housing department or in DMV, he's sitting there looking at this, and he's making immigration law interpretation and enforcement. It's like 3, 4, 5 steps away from the court and judges. Okay, that's not what the Constitution says. You may not re-prosecute, and you may not accuse this person. Okay, this is the punishment. Okay. And another thing that the Constitution prohibits unusual but very severe long-term punishments. For example, the Constitution or the courts, they will not make people destitute. They will not like break families apart and send some parts to Mexico and keep other parts here. Okay, unusual, and the courts will not look at the previous convictions when a new court case is on. So the previous convictions do not follow you for the rest of your lives. They are not like a demon constantly haunting you. Whereas the immigration, their cases, they follow people over decades. And this is all severe restrictions and limitations on constitutional rights or Bill of Rights. Who am I? I mean, to change what a whole bunch of assholes are doing. But hey, I'm saying, this is wrong. Well, I think just like this author, gradually people, it will seep into their conscious mind. Hey, something is very wrong, huh? Well, thank you very much. And I really enjoyed my class with you, Professor, and hope to see you in other classes. And I'm looking to find a way to take the bar exam. Please email me some stuff about that, my pathway to that end. And I am looking for courses in constitutional law, in courses in immigration law, in social security law, retirement, stuff like that. And what's the other one? Like tenant law, dog law, accident law, all these different branches of law. I wish to take courses in them and be very proficient. Thank you, Professor. You have a great time. See you in this Wednesday class.